Okay, the best show in East and Central Africa has officially begun, TTTT, and you're going to love everything about that hashtag. Go online and actually just share your sentiments or comments on some of the stories that you're bound to cover. They're mostly social issues, and I hope you get to enjoy that. I'll be your host, most bankable host, Brian Eseli, from now till 9. And of course, I have to introduce my panel. Ama sijui nisiwa introduce. Kwa sababu wa watu, usumbua sana.
What do you mean? What do you mean?
I know you guys are waiting.
Introduce us, so what will happen? Tutasumbua, tutatoka, tutafanya nini?
It's because I don't know how to place you guys. I don't know whether to call you creators, full stop, or international award winning. I don't know how to call you guys.
I don't know. You know, that's a euphemism of saying that we don't have titles na makazi.
Mabrokas kwani?
It's
I don't know. Unjamaa tu mabroka.
But you know, unaweza kubali kitu moja. Amesema euphemism. Take a moment. Anajonga English.
Come on. Those are simple English, bwana.
How has your week been?
My week was tantamount.
I saw that coming.
Yeah. It was super duper. It was full of razzmatazz. Yes.
And unasema ilikuwa moto.
Ilikuwa moto.
Haya. Kido, how was your week?
Wiki yangu imekuwa fiti sana despite tulikula matam pale Lavington. Vijana walituonesha shida.
Ukisema matam
what was happening?
Tulikuwa pale kwa DCP pale cover our launch.
Launch.
How was it?
Ilikuwa amazing. Watu walikuwa wanaingia ukipatiwa kofia hapo, kulikuwa na search kwanza. Vijana fulani wamevalishwa nguo za camouflage hivi, walikuwa wanapiga watu search. At the end former deputy akitaka kutoka, vijana wakasema mzae bash ni kubwa, tuachie vijana. Ikakuwa hakuna.
You know, it's so sad that na mtu akona kaliba kama ya Kido to say that alifurahia vile highlight yake ni alitoka na kofia.
Ile stuff ya chama.
Mimi nilikuwa green, sio orange. Mimi nilipata content nilikuwa nataka.
Sasa.
Okay.
Aya, wacha tuone. Sai we jump on to our first story of the evening, and we take you all the way to Homa Bay. Now, there's a Homa Bay grandmother who touched hearts, and of course, after offering 6 chicken to clear the school fees. Now, that number is disputed between 131,920 and 245,000 to actually clear the school fees for her grandkids. Now, in a beautiful twist, well-wishers have since stepped up and cleared the outstanding balance. First of all, I would like to just know, Kido, ini kitu ambayo unaona ilifaa kufika this level so that we get to interact at this point, because hii ni kitu labda mtu mmoja tu angejitolea tungekuwa tushasolve, wengi make it to the news. But what's your take on the whole story?
First of all, it's so sudden, you know, to see a whole grandmother anafaa kulea granddaughters akiwa pale nyumbani akicelebrate na wow. Ukiona grandmother imefika level mwenye anakuja ku step in for the kids kupata education, it tells a story. The generation sahi tuko nao sahi, I don't know if our generation value education. Even our leaders, I don't know if they value education, because amechukua what if hiyo ndio kuku yake ya mwisho alikuwa nayo, just for the education. And then ukiona mtu anakuja kulia publicly, how many cases ziko pale? Of course tumelelewa kwa zile mazingira. Mimi mwenyewe personally nimesomea mashinani na nilikuwa na wazazi wanaleta maragwe, wanaleta mchele, kuna watu walikuwa wanaleta unga, kuna watu walikuwa wanaleta mahindi, just for the kids to be in school. It's so sad we have leaders who cannot address this issue on the grassroots, because na believe kuna zile ma-CDF, kuna wale watu well-wishers, kuna wale business people, kuna wale wabunge, kuna wale retired walikuwa na serve maybe kwa government ama wapi, wanafaa kusotizi issue ndogo for amount ama for a bill ya fees ikifika level mwenye inakuja na expose family, ina expose kids. Imagine how watu hii kwa darasa sijui kama watafocus, because kila mtu atakuwa anaongelea baba yenu ana pesa, ameleta kuku.
Kwanza mchongano ikianza hapo hivyo wanataka kuwamaliza mchongano.
It's so sad to see that. You know very well, as a country we are going through a lot. Hata KCSE sijui kama wanafunzi watakaa KCSE ama KCP, I don't know.
There's been a lot of questions about if KCSE is going to be on this year. And then, what do you have to say about this story?
First of all, kudos to the grandmother or the mother. It's not clear yet if it's the grandmother or the mother, but it's a good thing, a good gesture for, you know, to make sure that the kids are back in school, come what may, whatever it will cost for the kids to be at school. It's a good thing, but then again it goes to show how our system is rotten, how our system never works, our system and our leaders it's so sad. It's so sad that it had to come to this, and it had to take one person to record it so that you know, it can be exposed. And you see, this is one case scenario. Niko sure ziko mob sana zenye ziko hapa hivi nje that hii ni moja tu yenye imeanikwa. I'm sure kwa hiyo shule kuna wengine una get. But if you had proper systems of you know, of catering for the entire you know, system of schools, tungekuwa tuko mbali. I usually give examples of out of this story tunasikia ati the governor came through na kalipa fees for, you know, for I don't know if the 4 years or whatever the years that zimebaki to clear. But you see, that is not the solution. That is not the solution. Kwa sababu after this, kesho kuna mwingine, leo kuna mwingine, the day after tomorrow kuna mwingine. Then how do we solve this problem? It is the system problem. Una get? I used to say, there was the example of Kitambo. There's someone who came with systems. For example, nani yoitwaje umze alituacha wa PSV.
Michuki, yes.
Michuki came up with systems. If you have systems, things will work. For example, Michuki alisema usijaribu kupanda gari kama
haina
seat belt. It's how many years? Decades after tunapolo yo system. Now there was another system of I saw former governor akienda pale Pumwani. Kulipia wamama besheni na GV sijui na nini, ametoa 200,000 kufanya nini? Kuwalipia. Ati sasa nimeketa for that is how it doesn't work that way. What you do, unaenda kwa system unasema I'll cater for 5 million itakuwa inalipia wamama either besheni zao, GV, any other thing.
Umesema GV.
GV. Imagine it shows how minimum there. That is kama ziko. Nikimalizia tu ni ati if we have systems, vitu kama hizo zitakuwa zina happen. Unaona? If ukweli we want to take our system to ikwe inaitwaje zero fees in terms of kulipia students, then it means chukweni pesa, wekeni kando, lipieni hii nini yote, so that huyu nyanya kipeleka watoto wake hata kuwa na deni ya 245, but you as a governor or any other person usiende ulipe huu moja umewacha ingine. Let's create systems that can cater for everyone.
So that Kido, you have something to say. I know we're going to take the next story maybe after the break, but ulikuwa na kitu ulikuwa nataka kusema.
Yes, I just want to add on what Ndenga ameongelea. Just ni kitu ambayo imenifungua macho nao. Kwa wale watu ambao wamesoma universities, wamesoma high school, wamesoma primary, kama ni alumni, think about this. Why don't you form a group? Najua mko na zile group zenyu za alumni, go back, see, find out wale watu wanahitaji support. Hata mchukue mmoja msupport. Hizi norma zifike pale online.
For how long?
And then lastly Ndenga. Now this is a call to the government, to the ministry, to the CES for education. Unajua ni aje? Nakumbuka wakati ya the late Kibaki, education ilikuwa free. Watu wao walipromisiwa vitu na hii gava ilipita na hii ingine, we've never seen anything. My call to the government is, mbona wasi make it easy for the parents to work. Parents are working extra hard, they're doing extra shift, wengine hata walali wamekatalia Nairobi to provide for the kids and the family. Mbona gava is take initiative. Hizi vitu basic, education, health system, transport system, then the rest itakuwa easy.
This story is personal to me because there is now a generation that is not carrying on its responsibility. And maybe si ati hawataki, maybe because hawawezi. Ndio ifike mahali, you take the kids to your mom, and your mom is now taking the full responsibility of making sure that your kids are going to school. I believe that inaleta a whole lot of different atmosphere altogether. Now, Kido amesema kitu moja. Governments have come and actually left, but they've left with a lot of promises. Remember tulipromise your laptops? And tablets for kids. Every other manifesto has tablets and laptops for kids.
And many more promises.
Staki kuongelea story ya Chapo juu. Hiyo itakani kama I'm not serious.
No, Chapo is serious.
Because there was a promise that we're going to have Chapo fam, and we did not have the chapatis.
No, and now our mothers have been promised kutakuwa na fridge. Nini boardroom
in the markets. Because our current deputy president Kindiki earlier on promised that they were going to actually make these markets zenye ziko na a form of refrigeration, and then itakuwa computerized.
Najua mtu alikuwa anauliza utajuaje nyanya yako ni yako kesho? ukishaekelea leo. Kesho utajuaje nyanya ndo zako.
Andika jina.
Wow, andika jina.
Sticker.
Yeah.
We'll be here to see.
So what do you have to say about that story? Use the hashtag TTTT and of course give us feedback on the story that a Homa Bay grandmother touched hearts after offering 6 chicken in the place of school fees. Unajua school fees ilikuwa in between 131,000 and 245,000 to just clear the school fees. Alikaa pale na aka make sure that granddaughters wake warudi shuleni. Good well wishers pia wamesema amerudi. Right now we're going to take a short commercial break. On the other half, we're going to make sure that we get to delve deeper and get to read of a story about this amazing CS. Mkaranga kweli kweli. Let's meet on the other half of this show.
Nivea Black and White Deal, now with 72-hour protection. But what does that mean? 3 sitters in 3 days and no fear of sweat. 120 dances with skin as smooth as the moves. Sweat, stain, and skin protection. Nivea Black and White Deal. Skin is for embracing life. Nivea is for skin.
Why don't you shoot me right here, right now, just like you did with Sander?
What on earth are you talking about now, Jackie?
Stop pretending, Barbara. You killed my husband because you didn't get what you want.
Could it be that Attorney Boris was the one who pretended to be a repairman and meddled with a CCTV?
Don't act innocent. You may not be reporting to me directly, but I am still a Sagrado. So you should know your place.
That's enough, Mom! That's enough! This has gone too far!
Widow's Wear.
Introducing Ajab Premium Maize Meal. Premium whiteness? Done. Premium aroma? Done. Premium softness? Done. Bei nafuu? Done. Ingia ligi ya kipekee na Ajab Premium Maize Meal.
The best show in Africa continues. Hashtag TTTT. My name is Brian Aseli, stepping up for my girl Amina. Mkiona Amina by the mwambie nimechoka kuja kazini because of her. Some of us need weekends. Ndenga and Kido in the bill.
Uko peke yako kwa nyumba, unafanya na mende.
Umechoka na Jamaica.
Umetoka ni wapi umejenga? Wapi umeenda kupumzika? Kuna mahali umejenga unaenda kupumzika.
Wewe hebu achana na mimi. Right now I want to jump on to the next story. William Kabogo, the current cabinet secretary or minister for current minister, has actually been the latest punching bag, owing to that people have English imekata kukuja hapo, believing that kuna incompatibilities with the complex new age duties that holds in his office. So despite his own faith in himself, Kenyans are still finding it hard to trust Kabogo's expertise at the critical ministry. Wanaona ni kama mahesabu zingiani. So with many suggesting that his advanced age and background makes him unsuitable to navigate the intricate world of a highly digitized ecosystem. So what Wamesha decide that Kabogo is our punching bag, and of course as they do that, they're talking about how he lacks the proper expertise to lead the ICT department. Then I'll start with you. What do you have to say?
Let me tell you, I've been seeing those jokes flying around social media, and I'm telling you they were very funny. Kuna mbili tatu nilipost. Hebu acha niangalie. Using the same photo
Nyinyi ndio mtashikwa.
Nani na nani?
Kuna mimi
nani atanishika. There was this particular one.
Let me find one here.
Nitafute pia mimi.
Sikia hii inasoma ati we are working with the Ministry of Gender to make sure that all motherboards have access to SHA. If you know, you know. Another one, ati hiyo kilobyte ikuje choma. Anyway, you see, Kenyans will always find something to, you know, to create and make fun out of it. It's a good thing. And of course, having said this, hapo wenyewe hizo ni political moves za kupatiana. There is no expertise in this appointments.
No, but
then a good example I usually give, we all know, it's when Nani came in, former president. When he came in his first term, we didn't know about Matiang'i, we didn't know about Gisheru. Is it Gisheru? Yes, Gisheru for ICT. We didn't know about, is it Juma? I don't know the first name, Juma. Yes, out of all those people, they were, they were technocrats. They knew what they were doing. Hizo zilikuwa ni vitu, they are used to ni vitu zao, what they can do. But sasa sahi, wamesomea, wameendea shule kufanya hizo vitu. But right now, ni wewe ulinisaidiaje? Utanisaidiaje coming 2027?
Yeah.
So, basically unaangalia tu hapo unajiambia, "Ai bro, wewe uko job, uko piga mboka,
tulichezwa."
But it's not your field. Yeah.
Kido, what do you have to say about that?
Unajua if ya ICT CS Kabogo ilitokea wapi? Nile sikuambia wa Kenya, I can switch off the social media if it's a national threat to the nation.
Yeah.
Hapo ndo wa Kenya wakasema hapana, huyu anatuenjoy. But the thing is that, you see, we are living in a country whereby we have our freedom of expression. We can express ourselves.
Yeah.
But all this, wasee wamejaribu kucompare our ICT CS Kabogo
na ule wa Rwanda.
So sijui kuna wasee wenye
qualifications.
Basically looking at qualifications. Walienda class wakasoma na wakaenjoy na deserve kupata hiyo job.
Yeah.
Tukiangalia sasa CS, our cabinet secretary yote sasa tukifanya tu tunafanya vetting. Wakenya wafanye tu vetting. I believe kuna watu wachache sana watabaki.
But you have a point. What do you mean wachache?
No.
Is there
actually Kido akona point. But I think I also agree with Ndenga. Ndenga umesema kitu moja important sana. One, we are looking at a place where you're given a position as a CS because of how you fuel someone's campaign. And now that comes to harm, especially the experts that are working within that department. For example, kuna mtu mmoja hapa hivi kwa hii government yenye tuko alipatiwa nafasi ya kuweza kukua in charge of engineers.
Sema jina.
Siogope. Mimi sijazoea shida. Kwetu wananitegemea. So I'm not gonna say it. But alipatiwa chance ya kukua the board of directors for a team of engineers. Maneno ya roads. Sio nakumbuka hiyo. And
nikumbushe.
Siwezi kukumbuka.
Taja jina.
Itakuwa ngumu sana. If you know the name. No. I want people to go online.
Taja jina.
And then online use the hashtag TTTT. Uniambie unafikiria naongelea former CS mgani ambaye alipatiwa opportunity ya ku lead maneno ya roads, and you definitely give me feedback about the same. But it's quite sad that we are using such positions that require expertise or rather experts to come and lead a group of men and women to actually help this country when it comes to development. Kitu kama ACT by this Joe, Kenya has been known to be the Silicon Savannah of Africa and have been given an opportunity to lead in most of the spaces. These big companies will come to Kenya. Chat GPT, even as of today, by the way, the initial programming of Chat GPT, they used so many Kenyans up on Ngong Road. Maana ukiandika kitu yote kwa chat inakwambia 90% chat. Hata kama umecompose, yani Kido ametoa, Yesu kwa decide ameandika poem yake safi, ameweka chat inamwambia hii ni 85% chat.
You've said Silicon Savannah, and I will wonder how the current CS will say it. Ataigawanisha into two. He knows about Silicon, ile ya kufunika nini, na Savannah ile ya.
Sorry Ndenga.
Endelea.
Nasema ukiulizana tu hapo story ya coding kidogo unajua na
wachana na maneno ya coding by the way. Mimi nataka kuongelea maneno ya coding. And if you're out there struggling with story ya nyumba, there is one thing you need to know, that you tie on with some of the biggest multi-billionaires in this country. I'm talking about members of parliament who on Monday have been locked out of their offices and denied access the Kenyatta International Conference Center over 50 million shillings of unpaid rent arrears. Now, that story also ties on to a group of elites when you walishindwa kulipa land rates this week. The Freemasons. Freemasons pia wameingia kwa hizo mahesabu. So sijui Sakaja ana collect sana pia. Nasikia pia KC na collect sana. Kido, I'd like to start with you. But kama una rent, you tie on to some of the elite. So it's an elite thing kukosa kodi.
Mimi nataka kujua ni gava ina doa ama? Because 50 million Hawa ni members of parliament. Na I know for sure kulikuwa na building fulani ilijengwa inaitwa Bunge Towers. Kama sijakosea. Walikuwa wanafaa kuhamia huko.
No, apparently kulikuwa na giza huko sana.
Stima hakuna?
Na I think
natural light was the problem, kido.
It's ironically that MPs wanaogopa giza.
Mingi zinaivana huko.
Sasa mambo zao za giza tunazijua.
What?
But anyway, it's so sad that they did not move to Bunge Towers because of that they were complaining some of the corridors iko na giza na nini. Na hapa Kilimani, Lavington. Kido wewe unajua mambo yao.
Usinieke bwana, usinieke.
Kido tuambie.
Because me I want to find out kwanza who owns KICC?
No one knows because the title deed is nowhere to be found. So
who has the title deed to KICC? By the way, that's a big question. It's a good one. Because I remember growing up, my grandpa would tell me, KICC is not owned by one person in particular. Because when Kenyatta was actually decided to build this international conference center, it was like MPs would actually contribute towards it. So I don't know if it eventually was bought by someone or as it was being built, it was being built by money for goodwill, but now owned by an individual. But I know that there's a very powerful family that has a large stake with the KICC. So I'm not going to mention names as well.
Sasa wewe unatupoteza. If you don't mention names here, now wonder stories zako, they are vague, they are blanket.
2 minutes, aingie kwa internet.
When you say powerful family that is tied to KICC, who is the powerful family? Who are these people? Taja the name so that we follow your story pole pole. That's how we,
I don't come from an influential family. I don't come from an influential family, so I'm not going to mention families that can affect mine. But kitu moja tume-understand kwamba ni sijui kama mko na kitu ya kusema about story of Freemasons, because I hear that one of their senior lodge masters is here. A high-ranking Mason is actually in the country, and I don't know why we relate the Freemasonry to a lot of devil worship, yet they've said that they're just a secular platform where men and actually it's mostly men who have acquired a particular stand. For you to join Freemasonry, by the way, you don't uwezi enda tu unasema nimejitolea nataka kujoin. Lazima ukwambie ndenga.
What's the threshold?
No, there are things that they look at.
Kama nini?
E.g.
spiritual life yako lazima ikuwe strong. Another thing,
what do you mean?
Spiritual life yako inafaa ikuwe strong. You must be coming from a particular religion. Unaget? Lazima ukuwe na some faith in something. They don't deal with faithless people. So from there, wanakuangalia, lazima invite you into the brotherhood. It's not something unakuja unasema tunaandikisha wapi. So it's mostly a group of the elite.
Na Ringtone si akona faith yake ni strong, sijamuona huko. Kama kuna mtu faith yake ni
strong. He was not invited to join the brotherhood.
Ana doa yote, hata hizi kesi amekewa za 50 million hizo ni za uongo. Mbona hayuko Freemason?
It's kwa sababu hako invited, you must be referred to. So it's a group of elite brothers, and some of the big politicians, even former presidents of this country, are part of that amazing.
Unatoa wapi? Kuna listi inatoka wapi?
Aya, sawa. Tuangalie story. Let's take a short commercial break. On the other half, I'll come up with a list of the names and some of the things that you've shared on social media. Keep on using the hashtag TTTT.
We believe in everyone's right to access water and sanitation. And it starts with a complex system that connects you end to end, ensuring every drop of water collected gets to you. And together with other sector players, we form a team that maps out every detail and works tirelessly to keep the water flowing from the dams to treatment works through pipes. We are Athi Waterworks Development Agency, accelerating access to water and sanitation.
Mbali tumetoka na bado tunasonga, kote tumeenea. The future is ours, tuanzishe mapya kwa wazo na ndoto. Tumefanikiwa, I am the future, doing good
shoot me right here, right now, just like you did with Sander.
What on earth are you talking about now, Jackie?
Stop pretending, Barbara. You killed my husband because you didn't get what you want.
Could it be that Attorney Boris was the one who pretended to be a repairman and meddled with a CCTV?
Don't act innocent. You may not be reporting to me directly, but I am still a Sagrado. So you should know your place.
That's enough, Mom! That's enough! This has gone too far!
Widows wear.
I did not ask for a guardian or kunichunga.
I have no ill intentions with you. Mimi ni sister ya babako.
Is everything okay?
There was something really important that I wanted to point out.
Siwezi fight na Tracy na Norma pamoja peke yangu.
But I just want to assure you kwamba kila kitu iko sawa. And Liam should be joining us anytime from now.
So united we stand, ama divided tuanguke.
This is NTV.
Tonight, abuse of office charges and diversity in the spotlight. University of Nairobi top brass land in court over a decade-long hiring scandal. We've got the drama, the details, and the courtroom twists. Also tonight,
nilikuwa kule United Arab Emirates na tukakubaliana na rais wa kule ya kwamba kampuni yao moja itakuja hapa iegeze.
President Ruto doubling down on Kenya's food security with the Galana Kulalu irrigation project. Two private firms, including one from Dubai, tasked to make the multi-billion shilling plan finally deliver. Plus,
wakati wa kampeni ikifika tutanyoroshana mbaya mbovu na watu. Si namna hiyo.
Rigathi Gachagwa's new party, DCP, is shaking up the political scene ahead of 2027. Gachagua rallies support as DP Kindiki funds a similar assignment for Kenya Kwanza. But is the Mount Kenya region ready for a showdown? And
because we are able to account for every rhino on daily basis, positively account for each and every individual.
KWS Ianoch's 46 rhinos in a groundbreaking conservation drive. We tell you why population growth is presenting challenges to conservationists.
Is back. Season 3 is even bigger and better.
Mambo yamebadilika kwa sababu ya mabadiliko ya hali ya hewa. Wavuvi wanaweza kwenda usiku wote na wakatoka na kilo labda moja ama mbili peke yake.
Not only with exciting episodes that you like, but this time around, you, the viewer, are in the driver's seat.
Sababu ya kuwa na hii mikoko ni bahari isije ikafika kule ambako kuna majumba. Kama si mikoko, bahari itafika kule.
Do you have a story you want us to tell? Call us and we'll come.
Lazima tutie bidii katika kutunza mazingira.
Do you want us to visit your village? Oh, yeah, we will pack our bags and come to your village. We're in Middle Creek because one of our viewers invited us to come to Middle Creek. So, we see you on air this May.
Introducing Ajab Premium Maize Meal. Premium whiteness, done. Premium aroma, done. Premium softness, done. Bei nafuu, done. Ingia ligi ya kipekee na Ajab Premium Maize Meal.
The best show in Africa continues. Hashtag TTTT. My name is Brian Aseli, standing up for my girl Amina. Nimeambiwa malipenya yako and she owes me money. Now, here's the full list of Freemasons in Kenya. Number 1, Guys, give me feedback about the stories we just read.
Usiogope.
I have the list.
Tuko na
WhatsApp group.
Mnaweza soma. Majina ndio haya.
Tutachanga tukutoe. Kwani
feedback on the stories we did. Ile story ya Homa Bay and the grandma. I don't know if you have feedback on the same.
Yes.
Also on the netizens talking about the ICTCS. William Kabogo.
Yes, there's a guy here called Michael Mitch from X. He's saying Brian Aseli Silva Kido. Lakini Silva Kido is your account Silva Kidole ama?
Ndio hiyo.
Kidogo na mambo.
Serikali lazima ende chini ya maji.
Yeah, of course mentioning me. Truly this displays that the system is broken because we are told that education is free but still uncontrolled systems hustle the citizen. Government don't keep the promise to dispatch education funds on time, hence parent becoming punching bags. There's another guy called Elam Kakai bado kwa X. Learn to enjoy the show like me because what's trendy keeps me on the no zone. He keeps on saying that the chemistry, the content, the conversation, the trend is a whole experience. Thank you so much.
Asante.
Huyu apewe kwa bili yetu bana.
Apewe kwa bill, si ndio?
Yeah.
There's another guy here called now on Facebook, guy called Jem Lem. Watu wako na majina hapa. Hata mimi nimepitia hii maisha but Mungu ako na mimi, so hao watoto wateseke wasome na bidii, Mungu atasaidia. Walimu msikatae chicken, chukueni please angalau watoto yao wasome. Jem Lem Kiswahili kidogo.
I've got a feedback from X platform. Tuna Area 51 Stall Stalls anasema TTT, it's so sad. For me, I think this show story brings a dark picture of the problem in the system. We have someone paying with birds and the other parents confidently raising hands on AGMs. Mtu anasema tu anunulie shule bus. You see the difference? That's the problem.
That's the problem.
There's a guy here, wacha ni mention tu huyu ameandika kakitu hapa kwa uchokozi. Morris Ambaisi on FB. We blame one term.
So, by the way, online you come and notice kuna the battle of the one term.
Yes.
Really like one term and two term.
Two term.
Yeah. Aya.
Yende sana.
May the best team win.
Yes.
Okay, now moving on to the next story. It seems that there's only one man who's not winning. And as I told you, Kenya has been used as a platform to create the inner workings of Chat GPT. So a Greek woman reportedly filed for divorce after 12 years of marriage because Chat GPT told her to, okay? So the woman sent a photo of her coffee grounds to abort and asked it to interpret them. And of course, after it told her it saw signs of infidelity, she served her husband divorce papers within 3 days. Nakwambia, so mdema ameona kitu akasema na feel aje kwani. Took that, akaishia pale chat, akauliza mnaonaje hapa? Akaambia wachana na mtu wako, hapa kuna infidelity. What do you think? Do you think now there's interruption by Chat GPT kwa relationships za watu ndenga?
It gives Zimbabwe. It's giving Zimbabwe. I think for me it's giving zodiac. Zodiac signs.
Yes. Mademo zodiac wanakuanga poa.
No, do you remember kwa gazeti sijui kama bado inakuanga hizo zodiac signs?
Yeah, the Capricorn, Virgo.
When you read all those things, aki ya nani zinakanga wewe. Hakunanga yenye inaongelelea kitu negative. So, I think also Chat GPT ikisoma hiyo kitu ama interpret whatever it was that it was given. I think that lady decided that, you know, I'll pick this. I'll pick this no matter what. So ni kama tu hiyo ya zodiac ya hii kitu ilikuwa inanimekia sense. So na feel pia without knowing that hii ni machine inaweza decide to go south, and it went south. It's so sad that the guy was left because of Chat GPT. Pole sana kwake. Pole sana. Is now back kwa nini?
Kwa soko.
Kwa streets, tumuombeeni apate mtu before mwaka ishi.
Kido, mi wana say kwanza nataka kuona hiyo kesi itakuwaje pale kotini. Unajua of course huyo boy ataenda kotini So itakuwa sijui wata handle vipi, lakini it's so sad to see that woman call that ground for divorce. Ni kitu alikuwa mind yake, na pia nimeona for the first time now Chat GPT imeanza kuvunja ndoa. So moving forward utasema utakuwa unafanya kitu kama mwanaume unakuja unachukuliwa pale. So it's so sad to see this thing. I believe now alikuwa anataka kuwa happy, so akakuwa space yake, but it's so sad now moving forward. I don't know kama tuna embrace technology to this level, hata kati ya dem itakuwa unaweka Chat GPT unasema huyu ametosha mboga kuolewa, hajatosha my dear. Wewe tumekaa na wewe 10 years lakini sasa siwezi kuoaje.
May think the lady should have looked for an alternative ama seek second opinion. Ukienda kwa Chat GPT kupatie hivi, si mtu enda kwa best yake mwingine. So angeenda DeepSeek. Askina DeepSeek inasemaje na DeepSeek wao unasemaje?
Ukweli. But one thing about Chat is it actually takes your prompts, studies you, and creates a whole new personality online. So you start chatting, wanasema you need to stop using kind words like please, because ni kama inakula stima huko Chat GPT. The kind that you are, it costs Chat, the company, a lot of money, but it's learning our patterns. And maybe that lady ameuliza your chat prompt, ama your bot, ameuliza so many times, is my husband cheating, is my husband cheating? Na itakwambia, babe, it's time to move on. You're not in a better place. Watch out to the next story, Kido.
Maybe let's ask you, maybe your Chat GPT inafanya tu favor huyo boy, because maybe alikuwa amechoka naye sana. So it's doing God's work.
It's doing God's work. Wewe ndio umetafuta tu something to cling on so that ni amwachilie. Yani there's no way unaweza tegemea Chat GPT for.
Then what about Chat GPT mesave huyo boy?
So let's put a pin on that. And there's good news actually. And you know, most countries when they're doing their budgets and there's a deficit, what do? They borrow, okay? That's why you'll see heads of states actually moving. And of course, this time around, we have to say that repaying has always been a big problem for most of the countries. But Nigeria has repaid $3.4 billion in emergency funding it received from the International Monetary Fund, that is IMF, to help the country cope with the impact of coronavirus pandemic 5 years ago. Now, the global lender said on Thursday, and of course, in April, that is April 2020, the IMF provided the financing to help Africa's largest oil exporter cope with a collapse in crude prices, which hit its finances and tipped the economy into recession. Now, we hope as a country we can learn from this. Nigeria has joined the greats of such as Singapore, who have cleared the IMF debt. Do you think Kenya will actually learn from this? Ndenga na joke on a lot to say, Kido, I want to start with you.
Now, for me, what I can pick from this is that Nigerians, I believe they have leaders that they deserve. Uprezo ameingia tu hapo na ameclear hii deni. But now, I don't know kama ameclear tu arrears, amelipa deni yote, hatujui in between.
Yeah.
So mimi niko pale nimekwama, acha nichukue tu space yangu na wa Nigeria sijui kama wamesupport kitu, because it can be a trick to them. Unaweza kama kwa trap ni aje tumelipa hii deni alafu what next? Yeah.
That's crazy. Ndenga.
Mzee anafanya kazi finally, ameacha kulala, ameamka. I've been seeing the memes going around of their president
sleeping in events,
sleeping in every moment and event that you'll find. At least he's doing something. Now Nigeria is waking up and paying debts left, right, and center. It's a good thing that for them, at least your pesa iliwasaidia, ama kama ikuwasaidia for the pandemic, at least wameilipa. As for us, we all know how it went with the pesa ya pandemic. Ilifutisha watu kazi pale KEMSA. Wengine walikuwa napita nje KEMSA wakapatiwa, ukaitwa nani kuja? Unataka 64 million. Uko na ID. Wapi ID? Unataka mamilioni. Ingia hapa. So we know what we did with our money. So haijalipwa. Kama deni ndogo ndogo za hapa ndani na pale za nini wajalipwa. Kuna umenikumbusha. When the president went to, is it Vihiga, I think, in Western somewhere, vijana wakaleta noma. He went to a different location, I think like 3 months ago, akawacha pesa, then he promised that akirudi atawachia kakitu. Then hakuachia kakitu. So kama deni kama hiyo,
ya mdomo.
Ya mdomo hiyo ya 30,000 50,000 haikulipwa. What about per head? Sijui, I don't know.
30,000 per head.
Haya, so haikulipwa. So what about zetu za nini?
Yeah,
the IMF and the rest of the World Bank.
So national debt sits in trillions right now. So,
yeah.
Na nakumbuka kitambo mtu alikuwa anasema ati if we were to divide these monies, every child that is born in Kenya today or every human that is in existence in Kenya today still owes the IMF in between 13,000 to 15,000 to clear that debt. So si wangeandikia tu kila mtu yake ya clear. I don't know if that's how the math works. Right now we move on to a sad story, and popular Nairobi City PSV Matatu uppercut Elias Makmende was involved in an accident. Now at the time of the accident, the Matatu was on a road trip before it overturned, injuring several passengers on board. Even though the number is yet to be confirmed, it's quite sad that most people are actually injured, and we saw it's reported there was one death. And, you know, earlier on, Kenyans saw how this vehicle was swaying from end to end on the road. Then later on, it overturned. They're still looking for the alleged driver, and I hope that they get a chance to nab him. So, amuuliza maswali kadhaa hapo hivyo. But road safety, Matatu culture is dope. Music, loud, speed, the pace is amazing. But sometimes not at the expense of people's lives.
Yeah.
Kid, what do you have to say about this?
I don't know if our rules need to be tightened. If the driver was intoxicated, I'm not sure about that. But to see these kind of drivers, we've seen, this is not the first case actually. So many times tumeona hapa Ngong Road kumekuwa na same issue. Hapa Tao CBD kuna time walikuwa wanafanya matatu culture pale hivyo kwa KICC, kuna watu wakaumia. Saa hii tumeona Nyeri, those are lives lost. Sasa sijui gava inafaa kuchukua step gani, because sometimes gava ikistretch kidogo inakuwa hatuwezi matatu wanafanya strike, hatuwezi move. Now, moving forward, I need all the circles. I'm suggesting this. Kupatia vijana kazi sio mbaya, but kuna sherehe baada ya kazi. If someone is going for a road trip, lazima afanye vitu fancy, lazima afanye hizo stunt, moves kwa barabara, lazima ajue kuna watu wengine wanatumia barabara. Moving forward, hopefully Gava will step up and make tighten laws and regulations. Na sako pia nafaa kuaddress hii issue. Na ule dereva alifanya hizi vitu zote, anafaa kuwekwa pale mbele, tujue pia akona yapi ya kusema, na kama hana ya kusema haiko ndani kidogo ikuwe funzo.
Hapo sawa, Ndenga.
Easier said than done, because the matatu belongs to one of
Taja.
Sema majina sasa.
Sema tutakutetea.
Usiogope, you said
hata niko na simu nimewatext saiti before tuendelee. Hebu angalieni, the matatu belongs to, angalieni hapo kwa group hiyo yenye
Google hapa kwa internet.
Wewe unaweza useme, mimi nishawa text. Wewe ndio kusema useme. Yeah, so the matatu belongs to one of those people that have texted you guys.
Yeah.
So it's untouchable. The only thing the police can do ni kusema haya basi tumeona, tumeiangalia, na tutafanya uchunguzi wetu.
Ni kweli?
Kwani kuna watu above the law?
Yeah, in this country that we live in.
Yeah.
Not constitutionally, but they put themselves above the law. Yeah. So we've come to the end of this half of the show, because the other half is actually going to be a spillover from 10. We have authoritative news. It's incisive and, of course, clear-cut, and we want you to definitely delve into that. A big appreciation to my amazing team working behind the scenes to make sure that we have great picture quality, and also my director, Jonte. Big shout out to you. We are going to have a beautiful late-night show, so you better stand by for that. Faiz Oma, a great Kenyan actor on different platforms across the world, is going to be there. Apesi, an amazing influence all the way from Kisumu City, is also going to be here. Have a beautiful evening. God bless, and take care till we meet again.